we're going to go over everything that's going on in college football. I've made a bunch of takes on TikTok, but a lot of it doesn't make it over here to YouTube, and that is my fault. Um, but yeah, first things first is we are going to start with how these college football games went this past weekend. You had Texas finally looked good. Arch Manning finally had a good game. My opinion, and this is what I've said about Arch Manning this entire time. It's not that Arch Manning is bad. Um, it's that Arch Manning is young. He's inexperienced. Like there's so much hype on this kid to literally come in and just dominate. Day one. And I know that none of the hype was from him. He's been very humble about it. He's talked about it, but it was tough. And it's like as we're seeing this team go on, it's not, oh man, like the coach is finally a good coach. Steve Sarkisian is a good coach. We know that. They have good players. We know that. We've seen them buy a lot of these players through NIL. Like they have talented players on the roster. I think you're just seeing Arch finally settle down. A lot of the pressure kind of wore off. The hype kind of died off, and here we go. You have this happen. I think Texas is going to be okay. Do I think they'll make the playoff? I think it's going to be very tough. What's up, Joey Foster? It has been a while, buddy. I've been over on Talk, and I needed to come back over here and kind of get this going again. So I'm going to do my due diligence, right? And I'm going to get this moving around. But kind of talking about Texas, Joey. Um, do I think Texas will make the playoff? I think it's tough. I think it's possible, but it's tough. But Texas has to go through Georgia. If Texas can beat Georgia, I think they give themselves a really good chance, right? Georgia being the number 5 team in the nation, Texas just coming off of that win. He's not good. I'm saying he's developing, he's getting there. Georgia doesn't have the kind of defense that we're used to seeing. So you got it. One's got to give. Does Arch Manning all of a sudden, turn that corner and then play a defense that Georgia has that isn't the greatest and go out there and dominate them? Or does Georgia bow their neck a little bit and show like, hey, we're glad you had a good game, but we're different, right? Georgia's always been known to heat up towards the end of the year too. So we will find out in these next 2 weeks against Mississippi State and Texas if Georgia is doing so. I think it'll happen. I know Gunnar had a shaky game, but I think a lot of emotions went into that game, especially the stuff about his grandfather. But boom, next, Oklahoma, Tennessee, the weirdest game I've seen in a long time. Proof. Dominated Oklahoma on paper and lost. Like downs that Tennessee had compared to Oklahoma's. Like it was a crazy just situation. But Tennessee like can't be upset. You got to remember, dude, you're literally coming off of losing a quarterback, right? Losing a quarterback to UCLA, who UCLA is having a terrible year, but you're coming off of losing your star quarterback going into his second year, right? And you turn around and get another quarterback transferred in who hasn't even played Power Five before, ever. And we're just supposed to expect them to be good because it's Tennessee or it's Josh Heupel. Like that's not how it works. It's not how things go. Um, but we expect it. We expected it. But now we're seeing them struggle, not necessarily struggle, but doing what we thought they would do. And everybody's like, oh no, they should go 10-2 or 11-1. Like, yeah, but like, what proof do you have that quarterback's going to be amazing? He's done really good. But to think in his first year that he's going to straight up carry an SEC team in an SEC conference, like, come on now. Like, let's give him at least second year before we start putting expectations like that on him. Um, Now, Alabama had a bye week. I think Alabama won the bye week. They're just getting healthy. They're strong. They've been strong. Now they're stronger. Uh, really scary stuff because Alabama right now looks like one of the best teams in college football. Texas A&M looks really good. Um, I think Texas A&M and Bama are going to fight for that. Ohio State still not sold on them, and it's not even because I'm an SEC guy. I said when Ohio State played Texas at the beginning of the year, I was like, I don't think either one of those teams are good. It is an ugly game. It's sloppy. Both teams, it just didn't look like your number one, number two team in the nation. Um, and Texas showed that. But Ohio State, people keep saying, "Oh, well, they're playing a good Penn State team," and then also people say, "Yeah, but then Penn State's not that good when they play somebody else." So it's like, which is it? It's got to be one or the other. I'm just going to go with the fact I think Ohio State uh, has manhandled a lot of people because of the talent on their roster. But I guess we'll find out when we get into the playoffs. But yeah, Indiana looks like a scary team because you don't know anything about them. You don't. We can sit here and say like, okay, Indiana's doing good. Like, have you seen an Indiana game? I haven't. Like, I've heard people say this, they're good, but I don't know. I guess I just haven't seen them play at all. Quarterback's like a beast. The backup quarterback is the starter's brother, so you've got some chemistry in that quarterback room. There's no ill will. It's a very weird dynamic that I don't think we've seen before in a quarterback room or on a college football team. But Indiana looks decent. Now, well, I know we can go over some more games, but I wanted to get to this. College coaches being fired and moving, these coaching positions being open, it blows my mind. Do I think that some coaches, should be fired? Yes. I get it? Do I know the buyout and all that is real? They're going to get paid, blah, 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 blah. The thing that get, when you have the mindset to fire your coach, who are you going to hire? Just like if you fire a general manager or you fire the CEO or whatever, like who are you going to hire? And so now that you're looking at it and you're going, okay, LSU, they fired theirs, Penn State, okay, Florida, okay, Auburn, oh, like Arkansas. Yes, you have a priority list and you have like, okay, maybe, these people are going to definitely want to go to either LSU or Florida because of the brand. Yeah, but like Penn State's not terrible. Like Penn State has a great community. Like that's it. Just my thing is, who do you hire, and then who is left? If Lane Kiffin doesn't take any of those jobs, now you're going down the line and going, okay, what if we get Georgia Tech's coach? What if we get Vandy's coach? Well, guess what? Georgia Tech's coach went to Georgia Tech. Vandy's coach went to Vandy. Like, what's up, Daniel? Uh, you don't know who's gonna decide to leave or who wants to leave. And I know they're like, well, we'll throw money at them. Sometimes these people, money isn't the everything, especially if they already have a good bit of it and they're playing at a place, coaching at a place that they went to school for. They're trying to make their school better. Um, so it's really weird. I don't know when it's going to come into effect though of who hires who. Because if the list is the way we think it is, it's LSU, Florida, Penn State, right? Then Auburn, then Arkansas. So you might have Florida opening up too. Like Kentucky, we've already heard that Kentucky might be one of the things. Like it's a crazy idea to think all of these schools have openings all at once. But the last thing you want to see in college football, and to me, I think this is going to be just an ugly, ugly situation, is if all these coaches just move around. If James Franklin goes to LSU, if Brian Kelly goes to Auburn, if Billy Napier goes to Penn State, like that. I don't know, but I know we've heard Jimbo Fisher talk about his name being thrown out there. That's a crazy, crazy idea, but it's actually not far fetched. Um, I think one of the other ones that we're hearing is North Texas has a really good coach. They're saying North Texas has a good coach. They have a good quarterback and a good running back, and they feel like the quarterback and the running back will transfer with the coach wherever he goes. So you already kind of have a head start on what you want to bring in. Uh, yeah, just like I said, just the whole thing is kind of odd. Um, anyways, I figured I would make a nice quick little live stream. I'll make a longer one next time. I just wanted to see how this would go, and I think so far this has been very very good. But I'm yawning. I gotta stop. But I will hit you guys up. I'll have some more news for you very very soon.